Hey everybody, it's Phil Bruce here, and in today's video we're going to talk about how you can train and exercise more than once a day without overly fatiguing yourself and getting maximal results or getting the best results you can. Now, when it comes to training more than once a day, we have to think about the methods of training we're doing, the aspects of training we're doing, and the types of training that we're doing in order to, as I say, to get the most out of it, in order to think about the results you're going to get, in order to think of the different components of fitness that you want to work on and what you want to develop, what you want to reach, all those kind of aspects, as well as the recovery side. So if I want to train more than once a day, so if I'm thinking about it from an exercise instructing point of view, or even a football point of view, because they're both related to me. So you've got, as I say, football player, so goalkeeper, and an exercise instructor as part of my job, part of my work, and part of my career. What I would think is that to maximise it, I'll try and take up more than one class a day if I can. But then I'll also think, well, what classes am I taking up in order to be able to give the most to them? So let's pick an example. So on a Wednesday, let's say, I do 3 classes back to back, which, yeah, is quite exhausting, but each class is different. And I do weights as well, but each one is different. Each component is different, which allows me to do it without exhausting each particular system, each particular range of fitness. So if I taught you through Wednesday morning, so for example, I'm doing spin. Now, for indoor cycling and spin, what I tend to do, the way I tend to teach it, is I try to do kind of like HIIT training, fartlek training. So basically what that means is short, sharp, snappy kind of sprints, or putting high resistance on, followed by active recovery, arrest and recovery, to allow you to then go again. So you're going anaerobically, which means you're exercising without breathing, and then you're getting some aerobic stuff, your aerobic recovery, or the aerobic breathing stuff when you're doing the resistance work, which again works speed and strength. It works the cardiovascular system in the kind of HIIT, speed, strength kind of way. So we're looking at that. We're trying to increase your output, your maximal output for speed and strength, whilst, as I say, getting the recovery in between. So that's my first class. The second one I do is Pilates, which is mainly working on core strength. It's working on range of motion. It's working on flexibility. So we tend to do a lot of holding movements, static movements, but isometric movements at the same time. So all that means is you're keeping the muscle under tension like that, holding each one for 30 seconds, just to allow the muscle to work. That's when you're doing moves such as the plank, or you're doing some holding crunchies, or you're doing a holding Superman. They're getting the core strength, the core muscles really working and activating. And then we put some stretches in, loads of stretches. So we've got hamstring stretches, quad stretches, back stretches, calf stretches, various ones for the upper body. So as I say, back, chest, shoulders, biceps, triceps. So again, with the stretching, you're looking to elongate the muscle. So all that means is you're opening up the muscle like that. You're trying to get it longer, and you're trying to give yourself more range of motion. So that's what I work on there. Then I'll teach aqua. So aqua is more, so it's exercise in the water, and it's more kind of longer distance. It's more kind of looking at the endurance side of it. Yes, there are movements where you're using your arms, so a chest press with the water, or high knees for the legs, squats for the legs. But it's more kept at a continual state, or a continual pace for the 40 to 45 minute class. So you're working and looking to work on the cardiovascular endurance there. So more of a steady state training. So that's different than the spin class I did before. And then I'll do a weight session at the end. So I'll do chest, shoulders and back. That's what I'm at the moment. Again, focusing on strength, power. Again, short bursts, but plenty of recovery time. And again, working on the muscles, working on getting them stronger and more powerful. So that'll be that's a good example to show that you can do multiple workouts. But then I'll have plenty of recovery in the afternoon. So again, it's getting some sleep, meditation, eating, drinking. I'll do some walking with Eddie Dog, just a nice active recovery session there as well. You can do it where you give yourself in quite a popular way is if you're working out in the morning. So say if you're doing a cardiovascular based workout, running, HIIT, fartlek, swimming, whatever it is. But if you're doing it at a higher intensity, say you sprints, for example, you can do that in the morning, and then either do weights or a resistance or an endurance based. You can do resistance based, that's fine, or a core strength or stretching based later on in the day. So you're giving yourself that afternoon, that bit in between, to recover, to recuperate, and allow you to go again. The mistake that people tend to make if they're training a number of times a day is they'll tend to do the same kind of training multiple times. So what you might see is somebody do spin in the morning, spin in the evening, or they'll do a strength session in the morning working on certain muscles and a strength session in the evening working on certain muscles. The only problem you've got with the strength session there, for example, is say I've worked biceps and triceps in the morning and I then want to work chest, back and shoulders in the evening. When I'm doing the chest, back and shoulders, I've already fatigued the biceps. Because the biceps and triceps are already fatigued from the morning session, it'll mean when I come to lift the compound stuff and come to lift for chest, shoulders, back, it'll affect my lifting. So I probably won't be able to lift as much, or I'll have more chance of getting injured from it. I'll be more fatigued. So again, it's just thinking about the types of training you are doing. But it can be done. You can train more than once a day. It's just making sure that you're putting different methods of training in. You're giving yourself enough time to recover, to recuperate, either in between the sessions or after that session and before the next session. So if you point back to my Wednesday example, I'll do those things in the morning because it's a busy Wednesday morning. I've got a walk later on in the afternoon with Eddie Dog. I'll do a boxing session with Lorna, and then it'll be kind of rest, get plenty of food, plenty of drink down me, and then I'll be teaching spin, doing weights, and a chair-based Thursday morning. So again, totally different things. Again, Thursday morning, it's where it's doing the speed and power stuff in the spin for the cardio system. Again, a weightlifting session, strength, power work in muscles, and then a more steady state thing with the chair-based fitness. So again, it all kind of mingles in where it's different in the case of the components of fitness that you're working. So kind of hopefully that puts the myth out that you can only do one training session a day, because that's what some people think. They think, oh, I've done one session, I need the whole day to recover before I do anything else. Hopefully this has kind of gone to show you that you can train more than once a day, but it's just being kind of sensible, kind of being logical with what components of training, what aspects of training you are doing, and giving yourself enough recovery time. And hopefully it's showing as well that it's worth putting a plan, putting a strategy over the ways that you are training within that to get the best results, because we have many, as I say, components of fitness and aspects of fitness, which, as I say, include power, strength, speed, cardiovascular endurance. You've got muscular strength and endurance, agility, balance, coordination, flexibility. There's lots and lots of different things that you can work on. So they allow you, by doing it in different chunks like that, to work on those different things, which gives you a more well-rounded overall aspect and level of fitness. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope you found that useful. Try and make a plan based on those things. Allow yourself more recovery time as well in between, or allow yourself, you could give yourself a day's recovery. You could have a Sunday off, for example, if you wanted to do that to, well, if you've worked a number of components of fitness for a number of days in the week. But as I say, you can train more than once a day. You can do it as long as you've got a clear plan, a clear structure, and focus and target in mind. So as I say, hope you found that useful. Hope you're having a good start to the week so far, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.